Good morning, fam. So, completed the install a couple of weeks ago. So, as you can see, I've got my Atmos speakers mounted above the television, but still at a good angle. I wanted them inside of the outside speakers so they can get a little bit of separation, but also gave them some height. So finally got them mounted, got my cabling tucked in. If you look at my other video, I kind of show you how I did that. But if you can see, I don't know if you can, but I've got those black grommets down there. So there's that. And then I went ahead and mounted all of these. Sorry, kitchen's a little bit lived in. So, but yeah, so I got the white grommets here, just like I did with those defluents, and put them in this inside of these pillars here. And so I snaked it in through here, got it there, and then put these mounts, which I repurposed. You can see it over there. And then I got more of an angle on the room because nobody really sits here, but it's also a wide enough angle that they can still get some of the sound. I did test it and calibrate it for it, but have that over there. Over here, see a little grass on my arm. I'm waiting for my lawnmower to recharge as the rain clouds start to come in and out. But again, this is the only pillar I had problems with because this is a load bearing, obviously, wall. So this pillar here is actually a full beam. So it's not, there's no hollow gap like in that pillar over there. There's no gap in there. There's no space. There's no nothing. So I tried to drill in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cable, tuck it in behind the speaker, and then bring it along the line here on the inside of that column. That way it's still tucked away and hidden where it's not obvious. But yeah, I don't get the benefit of having it completely hidden. But, you know, I got curtains there in the window, so it's not as big a deal. So I got that. So by popular request, people have asked me, let me go out a little wider, I guess, to play. Oh, one other thing I forgot to say is I went ahead and got, see my robot here is, I paused it so it wouldn't be causing problems during the video. But I got, for my center channel, I went ahead and got one of these wedges. And it's working great. Got a suggestion in the comments, but as you can see, it gives a pretty decent angle, about 30 to 45 degrees. So it lifts that sound up a little bit. Yeah, so comically, I do lose a little bit in the ceiling, but not as much. That makes a difference, but it does help with the sound. So that's one of the things that helps a lot. So, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find something that's not going to get me in trouble with law because of some type of copyright. So what I'm going to do, and this is by, again, popular request, and I hope it comes out nicely for you guys, but people have asked, okay, now that you got this new sound, let's hear it. So I'm going to play a couple of these trailers. Sorry. So I'm going to play a couple of these trailers, and let's see how that works out. So hopefully the mic picks it up right. Let me get a good little piece of volume here. And as you can see, I'm standing in the center of the room. So I'm going to back up to the full 18 foot space. And I'm going to hit play so that you can hear from the natural, the main listening position, I should say. Okay. All right. So let's hit it. So there's that one. Let's go to this one. Again, I don't know if that's coming over on camera, but it's pretty damn amazing. It really is. This is one of the more popular ones. I so badly want to play some music for you guys, but copyright, you know, so here's another one.
This is Dolby Cinema. It's where the most advanced cinematic technology you've ever experienced begins. This is Dolby Atmos. The number of speakers around you no longer matters, because this is the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape sets the mood of a scene.
Move your vehicle to the side of the road.
Whoa! What is this place? Come on, you guys, let's go!
Or captures the full extent
Do you want to know my secret?
of nature's fury. And remember this? It's just the beginning of Dolby Vision. Because what you thought was black isn't. This is black. This is contrast that reveals details deeper than any image you've seen on a screen. This is luminance that means the difference between white and pure energy. Energy that is about to reveal an entire universe of color you've never experienced in the cinema.
Yeah, so I'll pause it there because it's like a 3-minute video. So what I wanted to do there is just kind of give you a little feel. I don't know if the microphones picked that up properly, but that's one of the things. Something else I get in the comments a lot is the height of my television. And so, yes, it is higher than probably objectively you would want it. But from this distance at 20 feet, it's actually fine. The rise, the slope from your eye up to it is not causing you to crane your neck or anything like that. So that's that issue. Plus, I have several half walls or pony walls, and this television serves a couple of rooms. So that is on a cantilever swivel. So I can pull that out, the television, and swivel it. So if I'm in this room over here, at the excuse, I got a new printer here. It can be seen from here. So if we're sitting at the table or if we're playing cards or having a family gathering or whatever, it can even be seen from inside the living room area here. right? That we can kind of tilt it so that everybody can be brought into an experience. They may not get the sound, but if we're watching the game, the sound is kind of minimal there. And particularly here, if I'm cooking in the kitchen, right? I got the beam. It's big enough where I can still be inside of what's going on there. The folks sitting here have a good view of what's going on. The folks sitting here at the island, they get a perspective so they can still be caught in to what's going on. They may not be able to watch the movie, but again, for football games, basketball, sports, action, the Olympics, you know, we have this whole space filled, all three of those rooms, and that television can serve the room. So if it's too much lower, then that would cheat a lot of the aspect for some of the folks and reduce the visible area. So it's kind of a compromise that I make for that. But it's, again, this is also, and a lot of people also, I guess, have maybe newer homes, so they have higher vaulted ceilings, and because of that, that would appear to be taller than it is. But you know, I'm 5'10", and I can touch the top of the television. I don't know if you can see that, but I can touch the top of the television, so it's not as high as you may think. So that's one of the things that I did want to bring out also, because I get that comment a lot, which is fine. It's cool. Everybody's trying to help. It's actually a pretty decent community. I haven't found any real a-holes, nasty folks that are kind of putting everything down, because there are those folks, right? The better than guys where everything they have is better. But I've had a lot of insight, like that wedge idea that came from one of the guys in the comments, mounting them above the television. It came from a discussion in the comments because, again, the research I've shown, you want everything as close to ear level as possible, but because it has Atmos, you want it to have that feeling of coming down. I am not, number one, I don't have crawl space in my ceiling. So that's one of the other pieces that has got to go up to the ceiling to really get it. But for me to do that, I would have to literally trim out sections of the ceiling, put the speakers in, because there is no true crawl space in this house. Immediately above me is is my bedroom. Yeah, so that wasn't an option for me. Another option was to bring them out towards the center above these. But again, from my ear, when I tried that from a test perspective, they were competing against those Fluents. And again, I mentioned it before, but these sons of you know what, they are amazing. They cast sound throughout this entire soundscape. So when you were listening before, no matter where you sit in this room now, you have a surround. So again, I don't know if I would use them. I listened and watched and observed. I don't know if I would use them for front channels per se, because they do kind of cast in different angles. So you kind of could get some muttered sound. I don't know if I'd use them for high Atmos. I don't know if that's the case. It depends on your room. Everybody's room is different. I would highly recommend that these would be your side surrounds in whatever room you're in, because they give you a soundscape that there is no bad place in the room anymore. There's no ideal, okay. There is always an ideal seating position, so I want to be clear not to misconstrue what I'm saying here, but there's no loss. There's no substantive loss moving from area to area inside this room. So anyway, that's my talk, guys. I really appreciate all of the comments and the support, and I'll continue to give updates if I do anything else. But for now, I'm pretty set, so I don't have any objectives to do anything. Again, the other reason is that I would love to go to a 9.2 so that I'm actually have rear surrounds, a rear height Atmos, but the difference between the price difference, the delta in cost for this is a 9.2. For an 11.2, the delta between a 9.2 and 11.2 head unit, or I keep saying head, it's audio, car audio, a receiver is ridiculous. You're paying way more. I mean, you can kind of scale up from a 7.2 to 9.2. You're talking a decent delta. It is more expensive, but it's something you can see and say, okay, I get that. It's kind of it's a linear path. You see it, whereas this is almost logarithmic. Makes no sense, the delta between those two, to be able to accomplish that. But one day I'll put some money aside for it. Any other improvements I'll have will probably be that guy, that beautiful 77-inch LG OLED will probably, as I mentioned before, go into the bedroom, and then I will take a 83 and put there, and I think that will finish off this room, because again, that's a 77-inch television, guys, and from this viewing distance you can see how it actually gets engulfed, because it's a big room, right? Decent sized house, decent sized room. So it doesn't dominate or immerse as it should, and it's also one of those things that you, for scale, as you walk next to it, you see, oh my God, this is huge. When people walk in for the first time, it's huge. But for me, it looked like, oh, that, yeah. So anyway, that'll probably be my next move, is that. I don't know when I'm going to do that, because I've got some other things going on this year. But thank you all for all the views and for the likes and for the comments. I really appreciate them. I appreciate also that they're respectful and that they're helpful. So I do appreciate that. There are a couple of a-holes, hey, your TV's too high and that type of thing. But again, it's my house. I put it how I want, number one. Number two, as I just explained, and I've had to explain in the comments, it serves multiple purposes in multiple rooms. So this is the best fit for my home. Hopefully your television is proper in your home, based on your conditions, because very few people have ideal conditions for a particular room. For example, this room is open, right? It's an open floor plan. So I lose a lot of sound in here, so I have to kind of tune differently. And also I have a lot of bleed in. So if I'm watching a movie and somebody's in the kitchen cooking or just talking, it distracts from this entire room. So finding a perfect room that is a perfect cube that had the space that this has inside the home, it just isn't ideal. Everybody's different. Open floor plans don't necessarily allow that. So, and I live in Florida. We don't have a lot of basements here, guys. You dig more than 6 feet here and you may find water. So that's a fact, especially as close to the river as I live. So have a good day. Have a good weekend. As I record this is Labor Day weekend, so I may put some meat on the grill, so you may see some stuff for that later on. Otherwise, please take care of yourselves, love yourselves, take care of your families, and I will talk at you soon.